today I wanted to look at 10 words that when I go to America, I really just have to watch that I don't say or I adjust, because when I use them in America, American people be like, what? I find it fascinating to look at the differences between cultures, and I gotta say right now, I'm really excited to see what the ramifications of the current situation are going to be on the world moving forward. Social interactions will change, words will change, and let's just take a look at right now the things that separate Irish people's wording from American people's wording. I tried to go for the words that we use every single day and that I've noticed I do encounter as problematic when I'm in the States. Before we get into the video, do be sure to subscribe, otherwise you're white runners / trainers / sneakers. See, we're already starting on the differences between words. Well, they're gonna go yellow, and everybody knows that once they go yellow, they'll never go back to glowy white, and that would be a travesty, so just subscribe. Okay, the first word that I use all the time in Ireland, and I just can't use over there, is the word grand. In America, when you say the word grand, it generally refers to $1,000, a grand. Or it can also refer to something really big. It's a grand building. So when I tell people in America that I'm grand, they think I'm really hoity-toity and up myself.
Well, la-di-da, college girl.
In Ireland, when you say I'm grand, it just means I'm fine, I'm grand. Nothing exceptional to report. A situation might be grand. How's school going? It's grand. It can even mean the complete opposite of what it would mean elsewhere. It can mean something was mediocre or a bit shite.
Isn't a cuss word.
You just gotta read the facial expression when an Irish person says something's grand. They might mean fine, nothing to remark on, or they might mean underwhelming. Also, grand comes up in the case of when you offer an Irish person something. So, for example, you might say if they come over to your house, do you want some coffee? And as an Irish person, it is my duty to say no in the first two cases. I don't know why we do this, we just do. We don't want to cause a fuss, but at the same time, we do kind of want the coffee. So, do you want a coffee, Diane? No, I'm grand. I'm not really. I really want the coffee. Ask me again. And that is the word grand. The next word, which has led to confusion when I use it in America, and it's kind of two words but kind of hyphenated. But is it hyphenated? No, it's not hyphenated. It's just one word kind of. It's beer mat. Now, it's only when I stopped to think about this one that I realized how bizarre it is. In America, they use the word coaster, and we also use the word coaster here, but if you're out and about, you might say, can you hand me a beer mat? It sounds kind of like you're personifying your beer, like he's gonna stand on his own little mat.
Matt? Who is Matt?
I guess it makes sense. I mean, the mat keeps the table from getting dirty, and it is kind of like a mat in a house at a door. It's a beer mat. But when I'm in America, I always say coaster. Always. Otherwise people are like, what are you talking about? And that leads to confusion. The next word is the word jumper. Now, in America, when you say jumper, you're kind of referring to usually a person who, how does one say this without getting demonetized? Stands on the edge of a tall building and ceases to be living anymore. A jumper. Whereas in Ireland, it's our word for sweater. A jumper is not the same as a hoodie. A hoodie is a hoodie, but a jumper is like something woolly or faux woolly. It's like, it could also be cotton, I suppose, maybe polyester. I've gotten too bogged down in fabrics. A jumper goes over your head, whereas a hoodie, well, it could also go over your head, but it's got a hood. But you could refer to your hoodie as being a jumper too. There's something about the word sweater that I just can't get down with. The implication is that it's going to make you sweat. Actually, the etymology of the word sweater comes from people who used to row, and they would wear sweaters to induce sweating so that they could lose weight, so that they could row faster.
Lighter meaning faster? Exactly.
Fascinating fact of the day. So actually its origin is a little bit icky. Icky, such an American word that we have adopted. The next Irish word that really confuses American people is the word yoke. Now, when you say yolk in America, you might be referring to the yellow or orange inside of an egg. In Ireland, it would be orange. In America, it would be more yellow. And that's to do with how we produce eggs differently, but that's a whole other video. In Ireland, a yolk is anything, like anything, just literally anything. It can be a person, a thing,
A robot.
Generally, it's when you forget the name of something and you say, pass me the yolk. Or you go, the yolk in the place, the yolk. Yoke can also be broadened to the term Yoki mabob. We've discussed this one on the channel before, but I think it bears repeating because it's such a wonderful word. A Yoki mabob is a thingamajig. You've just forgotten the word and you just need a word and you just say yoke. You could even refer to a person as yoke, but it's kind of derogatory. Oh my god, you should have seen what that yoke was wearing the other day. One does not wish to be referred to as yoke. But honestly, it's a handy little word. You can take it if you want, America. You can borrow it. Use yoke in a sentence today.
Well, you're the boss, boss.
The next one, and I kind of like this, it's footpath. The reason I like it is it's so logical. America has a pretty logical version of footpath. They say sidewalk, because you walk on the side. Sidewalk. We say footpath, because your feet go on the path, not your hands. They could do. That would be interesting. But generally, they don't. It's a path of feet. In Britain, they've completely gone against this, and they've gone with the very sterile sounding pavement. It's a paved. It's not anything. It's just such a word. It's just, get on board, Britain. Come on, we're having fun with the word in Ireland and America. Just get on board with us.
These Brits don't know the first thing about football.
I like the words America and Ireland has. I think they're adorable. Ma. The next word, and this is one I've definitely struggled to remember to change, and I think in the Dollar Tree episode and maybe the Target and the Walmart, I definitely used the Irish word. It's the word trolley. A trolley is something you push around a supermarket. What's this? In America, you guys call them carts. But a cart in Ireland is like a horse and cart, which you also use, but then you use it in your supermarket too. So I just find it hard to get on board with the word cart because it's just, I can't, it's just,
Is she okay?
You know, you're just used to saying a certain word, so I just say trolley. But going forward, you'll know what I'm talking about. I will endeavour to try and say cart, but I'll probably say trolley. Feel free to pick me up on it in the comments. I'm sure you will. The next Irish word that confuses Americans is the word stuffed. Now in America, you can have a toy that is stuffed or a dead body that is stuffed, both equally equal. But in Ireland, a person, a living person, can be stuffed after they've eaten a lot of food. So for example, my mum would say, Diane, do you want any more dinner? And I would say, oh no mum, I'm completely stuffed. To which my mum would say, do you say you've had sufficient in this house? Sorry mum. Stuffed basically means you're really full of food in a satisfying way. It's not a vulgar way of saying it, but it's definitely not the most polite either. The next word I want to look at is the word gaff. As I understand it, in America, a gaff is like a gaffer, like a person who works on a film set. They're kind of the guy who goes around with the ladder and the masking tape. Every now and again, they tape something or leave a mark. It's a pretty laid back job as things go, but when the shiz hits the fan, they really do need to know what they're doing. In Ireland, a gaff is a house. You live in a gaff. It doesn't need to be either necessarily a beautiful house or a kind of rubbish house. A gaff is just a house. And it can also be an apartment or a flat or a studio. It's your gaff. It's where you live. It's very much a casual word for abode. You'll hear Irish people referring to gaff parties, how the gaff got wrecked at the gaff party, and how nobody's allowed over to your gaff anymore because your mom said no more gaff parties after the gaff got wrecked at the gaff party. I don't know why, we just use it for house, home, apartment, studio, living abode. The next one, and you've heard me refer to this, but I don't know that I've ever actually put it on a list. It's the word piss. Whoa, I'm not being vulgar. In America, piss is a word for urine. Why does that sound weird when I say it? Urine. I said it right. In Ireland, piss is usually used in the sentence taking the piss, so you're teasing somebody a lot, or slagging them, which is another Irish word. It's a jovial way of teasing your friend. You're taking the piss.
You look ridiculous, you should sue.
In the UK, I think it actually means something a little different, which is that taking the piss means you're trying to take advantage of somebody in some way, whereas in Ireland, it's just you're taking a joke out of your friend. Extracting a joke from their situation, but in a fun way, not in a mean way. And the final word, and it's a word I can't get on board with it no matter how many times, particularly Lenny has reminded me to use a different word. I use the wrong word all the time in videos, all the time. I just can't get my head around the word that you guys use. I'm not against it, I just can't get your word in my mouth. The word that we use is the word queue. So you'll queue up for something. Currently, we have to queue at a social distance apart from each other when going to the supermarket. But in America, you guys say line. You're standing in line. You're waiting in line for the newest Apple product.
I like waiting in line.
I think one of the reasons I can't get on board with the word line is because sometimes when you're queuing, you're not necessarily in a line. Like if they give you a ticket and tell you to go wait somewhere, you might not be actually in a line, but then Americans say they're still in a line. But in Ireland, we just say you're in a queue. Queue is actually one of those words that's kind of hard to spell. Sometimes I write the word K. Queue. It's a funny old word. I find it hard to adapt to the word line, because it's not a line necessarily. The word queue actually does come from the word queue. You're waiting on your queue to do the thing you want to do. Oh, that rhymes. I'm not entirely sure why it never made its way across the pond. It's a great word. I have nothing against the word queue. I also don't hate the word line, but I can't get on board with it. When I'm in America, I need to try and remember to say line, because a lot of times people are like, what's a queue? And then I'm like, go read a book. Nah, that's a bit harsh. I don't know, maybe they read all American books. But yeah, queue, it's the word for line. Causes confusion. And that's it for today's list. Let me know below in comments what words Irish people have used around you that you find confusing. Today's video goes out to the Karmic Goals crew over on Patreon. The Karmic Goals crew are an amazing group of people who support this channel on a lot of levels, so thank you to each and every one of you. Their names are on the screen. On Patreon's a cool little community where you can get bonus clips and extras and behind the scenes of what I'm really feeling about things. It gets pretty deep over there. Kind of deep, semi-deep, rolling in the deep. That's it, bye. The next word which often causes confusion is the word but it makes sense. I guess it makes sense So actually America has a pretty logical. Now, whoa. I'm not being vulgar. They've gone with the very sterile sounding. What's the word? What do British people say? Oh, pavement.